Good morning, dear students. Hope you all are doing well at home and enjoying the e-learning program initiated by Cambridge International School, Dasua. I am Mr. Sunil Kumar, PGT Accountancy. Today, we are going to do some numerical questions of journal. But before starting the questions, let's recapitulate what we had done in the previous classes. Let's recapitulate the rules for debit and credit by traditional approach, accounts involved, and the rules. Number one, personal account. Here we have seen that person, it includes all the persons. Number one, natural person, artificial person, and representative person. Rule for personal account is debit the receiver, credit the giver. Second one is real account. Real account covers all the assets of the firm, whether it is tangible assets, intangible assets, fixed assets, current assets, etc. The rule for real account is debit what comes in, credit what goes out. And the third one is nominal account. It covers all expenses, losses, incomes, gains. So nominal account, the rule for nominal account is debit all expenses and losses, credit all incomes and gains. Here are the rules for debit and credit by modern approach. Modern approach covers 5 heads: assets, liabilities, capital, revenue, and expenses. For assets, if assets increased, it will be debited. If assets decrease, it will be credited. For liabilities, increase in liabilities, credit; decrease in liabilities, debit. For capital, increase in capital, credit; decrease in capital, debit. For revenue, increase in revenue, credit; decrease in revenue, debit. Expenses, increase in expenses, debit; decrease in expenses, credit. So in this way we cover traditional approach and modern approach. In this chapter, the students have the liberty of using any approach, whether they can use traditional approach or modern approach. As per the convenience, they can use any approach. In the previous classes, we have done journal. Let's see what is the definition of journal. Journal is the primary book of account in which transactions are first recorded in chronological order, that is, as they are entered into. It means when the transaction takes place on the same day the transaction is recorded in the book, that book is known as journal. Journal is also called the book of original entry, since all the transactions are initially recorded in it. We can say that journal is also called the book of original entry, as the entry is recorded as and when it takes place. So it is also called book of original entry. Dear students, today we are going to learn how to identify a transaction, whether it's a cash transaction or a credit transaction. Let's begin with the case number 1. If a transaction relates to sales or purchases of goods, and then the name of the seller or the purchaser is given and it is not stated as a cash transaction, it is taken to be a credit transaction. In a very simple way, or in another words, we can say that if in any transaction name of a person is given without the word mentioning cash in the transaction, it is called it's a credit transaction. Now, for example, goods sold to Mohan. See the transaction goods sold to Mohan. Here, the name of the person is given, but without word cash. You can see that there is cash is not mentioned in the transaction. Only the name of a person is mentioned in the transaction. Then we can easily identify this transaction is a credit transaction, not a cash transaction, because the cash word is missing. Let's see how we will pass a journal entry for this transaction. Mohan's account debit. Now, why we have done Mohan as a debit? Mohan is a person, so Mohan is the receiver. As per the traditional approach, personal account will apply debit the receiver. If we take modern approach, Mohan is a person who bought goods from us and he has not paid any money to the firm. So Mohan is going to pay this cash in future. It means Mohan is an asset for the organization. Assets mean anything which gives benefit to the organization in future, that is known as asset. So Mohan is going to give benefit in future. Now he has taken the goods from the firm, but he has not paid the money. He will be going to pay this money in future. That is why Mohan is an asset. Here the rule applicable for assets according to the modern approach, increase in assets debit. That is why Mohan is debited here. To sales account. Sales means revenue. Revenue means income. For by traditional approach, nominal account will be applicable. Here, in credit all incomes and gains. According to the nominal account, all incomes and gains are credited. That is why sale is credited. If we take modern approach, sales is a revenue. Increase in revenue is credited. Narration, which explains the journal entry. Being goods sold to Mohan on credit. So it's a credit transaction. By reading the narration, one can easily understood that this transaction is a credit transaction. Hope everybody understood this point, how to identify cash and credit transaction. If the name of a person is given in the transaction and the word cash is missing, it means that transaction is a credit transaction. Here, case number 2, where we have to identify the transaction is a credit transaction or a cash transaction. If a transaction relates to sales or purchases and the name of the seller or the purchaser is given along with word cash, it is taken as a cash transaction. Now here it is just one step ahead of the previous case, that here the name of the purchaser or seller is given in the transaction but along with the word cash. Here the cash is written with the name of a person. That is why it is a cash transaction. Let's take an example. Goods sold to Mohan for cash. Here in transaction, goods sold to Mohan, the name of a person is written, but it is written with the word cash. So this transaction is a cash transaction. See how we will pass the journal entry. Cash account debit. Now we have identified the transaction is a cash transaction, not a credit transaction. So cash account is debited. Now, according to the modern rule, what comes in debit, cash is coming in the business. So cash account debit to sales account. Now, sales is a revenue. If we apply modern rule, or increase in revenue is credited. Now, on comparing this with the previous transaction, sold goods to Mohan, it means we in the previous transaction we have written Mohan's account debit to sales account. When there is a credit transaction, only the name of the person is written. So in the previous transaction we have written the name of the Mohan's account debit to sales account. And this transaction is a cash transaction, that is why we are writing cash account debit to sales account. See the narration, being goods sold to Mohan for cash. In the previous case, we have written being goods sold to Mohan for credit. Now, here, being goods sold to Mohan for cash. So, hope you all can now identify which transaction is a cash transaction and which transaction is a credit transaction. Here is the third case. We have to again identify the transaction, whether it's a cash transaction or a credit transaction. Case number 3 says, if a transaction relates to sales or purchases and the name of the seller or purchaser is not given, then it is taken as a cash transaction. In case number 3, neither the name of a person is given nor the word cash is mentioned. So, in this situation, we will take the transaction as a cash transaction. Let's see the journal entry. For example, goods sold for rupees 10,000. In the transaction, if you see, neither the word cash nor the name of a person is given in the transaction. That is why it is treated as a cash transaction, and we will pass journal entry cash account debit to sales account, and the narration for the journal entry is being goods sold for cash. Now see, rule for cash is if we take modern approach, increase in assets debit, and for revenue, increase in revenue credit. Sales is a revenue is an income, so increase in revenue is credit. Now, on comparing all the three cases, in case number 1, the name of a person is mentioned without the word cash, so the transaction is a credit transaction. In case number 2, name of a person as well as the word cash is mentioned in the transaction. That is why the transaction is taken as a cash transaction, because cash is clearly mentioned in the case or in the transaction. In case number 3, neither the name of the person nor the word cash is mentioned. So, when nothing is mentioned, the transaction will be taken as a cash transaction. Hope it is clear to everyone how to identify any transaction, whether it's a cash transaction or a credit transaction. Because when we are going to pass a journal entry, we need to identify transactions. First, it's a credit or a cash transaction. When a student is able to identify any transaction as a cash transaction or a credit transaction, it means he has won the half battle. So half battle is left. For winning that battle, we have to solve one of the question based on these 3 rules or these 3 cases. Let's begin with the practical question. Sold goods for. Here is the solution for the question. On June 3rd, goods purchased for cash. Journal entry would be purchases account debit with 5,000 rupees to cash account 5,000 rupees. We have easily understood this transaction was a cash transaction because the word cash is clearly mentioned in the question. Now, how we pass the journal entry? Purchases are our expense, so increase in expenses, debit. Cash is an asset, for increase in assets, debit, but here the cash is written on the credit side, so decrease in cash is credited. On June 5th, Hari's account debit to sales account. Here goods are sold to Hari. Now, in this transaction, the word Hari, the name of a person is given, but the word cash is missing. So this transaction is a credit transaction. Journal entry is Hari's account debit to sales account. Now we have to understand why we have written S word here with name Hari. Hari's account. If you are going to write account, you have to use S, apostrophe S with the name of a person. If you are not going to write account, then you can easily write Hari debit to sales account. That would also be right, also right entry. So when you are going to write account with the name, then you have to use apostrophe F S. If you are not going to use word account, then you do not require to use word S. So here we are using word account. That is why we have used S apostrophe S with Hari. So the journal entry is Hari's account debit to sales account. Now, which rule we have applied here? Hari is a debtor. He is a person who is going to pay us in future. So Hari's account debit, so increase in assets account debit to sales. Sales is revenue. So revenue, increase in revenue is credited. So Hari's account debit with 1500 to sales account credit with 1500. Being goods sold to Hari. June 6th. Being goods sold to Harnoor for cash. Now here the goods sold to Harnoor for cash. Here Harnoor and cash, both the words are mentioned in the question. It means name of person and cash is mentioned in the question. Now the journal entry would be when this type of situation comes, we will take in cash. This is a cash transaction, so the journal entry would be cash account debit with 1200 to sales account 1200. Now cash is increasing, so increase in cash is debited to sales. Revenue is also increasing. Increase in revenue is credited. Being goods sold to Harnoor for cash. On June 15th, goods purchased. Here only transaction is mentioning that goods purchased. Nothing is mentioned, neither the word cash is mentioned nor the name of person is mentioned. So in that situation, we take this transaction as a cash transaction. So the journal entry would be purchases account debit with rupees 400 to cash account 400. Rule that purchases are expense, so increase in expenses debit to decrease in cash credit. So we have understood why purchases are debited and why cash is credited. On June 23rd, goods sold for cash. Here the goods are sold for cash. The journal entry would be cash account debit to sales account. Cash account debited with 100 rupees, sales is credited with 100 rupees. Now the rule, which rule is applied? Cash is increasing, cash account debit, and sales are also increasing, so revenue account credited. If we see that now we are able to identify, once we have finished this question, we are able to identify whether the transaction is a cash transaction or a credit transaction. We have also seen that we are easily able to apply the rules which we have learned, whether it's a traditional rules or it's a modern rule. Uh, so we are here able to apply those rules, as well as we are able to identify the transaction, whether the transaction is a credit transaction or a cash transaction. So we are giving you a a worksheet which you have to do at home, solve it at home, and which is based on these three cases. If you are able to do these three cases, then it means you can easily identify the cash transaction and the credit transaction, as well as you can also able to apply the rules for passing the journal entries, whether uh, you can apply the traditional approach or a modern approach. Dear students, thank you for listening it very patiently. We are done for the day. Tomorrow we will be back with another topic of the same chapter. Till then, stay safe, stay healthy, and stay at home and do more and more questions of journal entry.